Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another hair related video. Today I'm going to be introducing a concept that I'm very excited about. I've been working on it for the past 2 weeks or so in my spare time. So if you want to find out what that is, just stay tuned. Alright guys, so today I'm going to be introducing, drumroll please, the Lois A hair health check scale. And it's currently just me, right? The Lois A hair health check scale. It is not clinically proven. I decided to sit down and kind of come up with a scale that will help us to monitor our hair health progress. So I know that most of us may be familiar with length checks, right? You know, every relaxer day you put on a little length check shirt with the little lines inches apart to monitor your hair length progress, and that is all good. But you know, along my hair journey so far, I have realized that it is very important that I do not focus too intensely on length, because when I do that, what happens as a result is that I get so distracted and I begin to ignore all the other aspects of hair health, because in order to attain length, we have to first attain health. And sometimes we become so distracted and we don't want to trim our ends, because if we trim our ends, that means our hair is going to be shorter, and if our hair is shorter, that means we're not going to reach our goal of armpit length and waist length and so forth. And then as a result, our hair health suffers. And if our hair health suffers, that means we're never going to achieve the length that we so desire. That is why I decided to come up with a little scale so that we could focus more on the different aspects of health. And once we start to achieve those aspects of health, we could eventually achieve our length goals. The other reason why length check may not be so important is that some of us really don't desire length. I have two versions of this scale. The first version has a length check included. The second version does not have length check included. Now, so this scale can be used for both natural and relaxed hair. Once again, it is not scientifically proven. It is a scale that I plan to incorporate along my hair journey post relaxer days. If you guys intend to use this scale, you can use it in any way you want. You can use it after you wash your hair, you can use it post relaxer day, you can use it pre relaxer day. So let's get to the scale. Now I'm talking way too much. It has 4 components, 5 if you include length. So the first 4 metrics of this scale are sheen, breakage, hair end, scalp health, and then if you want to include a length is a 5th metric. So number 1, sheen. So sheen speaks to the reflectivity of light when it shines on our hair, and I'm going to demonstrate this shortly. So a score of 0 means that your hair may appear to be dull when light is shining on it, and a score of 1 on the other hand means that your hair may have more of a shiny look once light is shining on it. Now the second metric is breakage. Now for those of us who may not be familiar with the difference between breakage and shedding, shedding speaks to hair loss from the scalp itself, right? So if you look on the hair strand and you see a little bulb at the end of the strand, that is like a shed hair. Breakage, on the other hand, speaks to little pieces of hair that have broken along the shaft of the hair strand itself. So if you look on the ground and you see long pieces with a bulb at the end, that is shed hair. If you see smaller pieces that have likely broken along the hair shaft, that is a breakage. Now for this metric of breakage, once again, a score of 0 means that your hair breaks easily when you comb it through with a medium tooth comb, and a score of 1 means that you have minimal to no breakage when you're combing your hair or detangling your hair with a medium tooth comb. So next is ends, and ends speaks to the presence or absence of split ends. So a score of 0 means that your ends are mostly split or see-through, while a score of 1 means that you have minimal to no split ends whatsoever. You have clear-cut ends. Now the next metric is scalp health. It may be best to include this metric in your overall scale about 3 to 4 days post your wash day, because a score of 0 means that 3 to 4 days post your wash day, you might notice excessive itching, excessive flaking. So a score of 0 means that your scalp health may not be optimal. And a score of 1 means that 3 to 4 days post wash day, your scalp is still chilling, your scalp is still relaxing, your scalp is fine. So the last metric is hair length, and once again this metric may only be utilized if you actually are desirous of length. I personally won't be utilizing this metric until I have consistently excellent marks in the other parameters of hair health. But the length metric is there to be used if you guys are willing to try the scale. So the length scale now has a score of 0, 1, and 2. 0 means that your hair is shorter than your last health check. 1 means that it's at the same length, and 2 means that it is longer than your last length check. Now, if you include the length metric, your maximum score is that of 6, with a 0 to 2 meaning the minimum overall score, which really means don't be discouraged, you can still get on board. 3 to 4 is an average score, which means that you are on the right track. Don't get distracted and prepare for speed bumps along your journey. Whereas 5 to 6 is an excellent score. Try to stay on course till your next health check. Now, if you do not incorporate the length metric, then you can have a maximum score of 4, with 0 to 1 meaning minimum, 2 to 3 meaning average, and 4 is your maximum score. So I would also encourage you to probably keep a diary so that you can document your score on each health check, and you could also document the regime that was used throughout that cycle so that you can either continue to use that regime if you have been achieving good scores, or if you could make changes to your regime if you notice that your scores are consistently not so good. Okay guys, so I'm going to demonstrate metric number 1, which is sheen, which is the reflectivity of light once it shines on our hair. And sheen somewhat kind of indirectly is a reflection also of our scalp's health, because that natural luster that we see in our hair really is a reflection of the essential oils from our scalp lining and moisturizing the hair strands, even without having to use additional moisture or oils. You know, if you find that your score in this section or in this metric is not optimal, then you may have to consider incorporating some more deep conditioning techniques, especially the utilization of your moisturizing deep conditioner at least with every wash day. And it could also mean that you're not moisturizing your scalp adequately, and that is sheen. Alright, so next is breakage. So really guys, we are supposed to be detangling our hair from the ends to the roots and not the other way around, but I actually already detangled my hair before this video, and that is why I am detangling from the roots to the ends. Now if you find that you're having difficulty detangling your hair, or if you have little pieces of hair scattered on the ground and the dresser, wherever it may be, then you may be experiencing some degree of breakage, and that could be due to a number of reasons. It could be that you are lacking in moisture. It could also mean that you're lacking in protein, and it can also mean that you have some split ends laying about somewhere that are causing some degree of havoc. And that of course brings us to our next metric, which is ends. I didn't really properly demonstrate ends here, but split ends really represent those see-through ends that just look very thin and a little fragile. And next is scalp health, right guys? So I struggled with dandruff for a number of years, and I know that many of us are still struggling with it. So if you find that your hair is itching constantly, have those white flakes shortly after you've just washed your hair, then it may be actually be best for you to first seek dermatological expertise advice to ensure that it is dandruff, because you do have some scalp conditions that may mimic dandruff, such as seborrheic dermatitis, psoriasis, and so forth. So scalp health is very important because our hair grows from our scalp, and it is therefore very important that we maintain our scalp's health to maintain healthy hair growth. And that brings us to the last metric, which is length. So to monitor your length progress, you can make your own length check t-shirt. They're very simple and easy to make. You just purchase your white t-shirt and make those lines 1 centimeter or 1 inch apart. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your continued support. I wish you all excellent health, and I pray that each and every one of you watching will continue to be safe during this pandemic, and that this year will be a better year for us. Thank you guys. See you again in the next video. Bye.